What's up everybody, Mike LYNDS here. So today what we're going to do is work on 3 bicep exercises for your peak. So a lot of people think that it's like a certain heaviness or something like that, but realistically you got to work on the outer bicep to really get that peak. So first off, we're going to do cable hammer curl. So what we're going to be using is the rope, and you'll grab it right here. Bring yourself back so you get that full stretch out, and that's where a lot of people do go astray, where it's they come in, they have that kind of leeway. You want full tension and full stretch right at the beginning, and then you're gonna come up and you bring them basically right up to the shoulder. And all you're doing is breaking at the elbow. There's no rotation of the elbow outward or inward. It's just basically breaking at the elbow. Controlling that weight on the upper and the lower part of the rep range. And getting that full stretch at the bottom. So, like I said, common mistakes are people just stand in a position where they don't have that full stretch. They usually stop halfway through the rep, so they try to get a lot heavier. And they'll come up here and they'll stop about halfway to kind of give themselves that. They're more in the power range, so they still have their strength where they can bring it back up. And a lot of people have struggle when it's fully extended and fully stretched out to start that rep. That's where you start to kind of get a lot weaker. So sets and reps. Realistically, the biceps can take a bit of punishment. So you can do 10 to 12 or 12 to 15. Depending on what you're trying to do, but realistically, the higher rep range will get you a lot more blood into the muscle. When I'm pulling up on this, realistically, it's right around my index finger, right where my thumb is. So, I can let go of all those fingers and still do the same technique. It's just as you up in weight, obviously you're going to want that grip on the rope, but all the tension is right through your index. So it's coming straight up through the index, and you're gonna feel it right in here. So the brachial's right in here, top of the forearm, and then you have the outer bicep. Another alternative is if you don't have cables in your gym and you just have dumbbells, here is your dumbbell alternative. So you can do it double or single. I'll show the single part. So it's just basically straight up. You're just, like I said, breaking at the elbow. You're not letting that elbow travel this way to make it easier. It's stuck at your side. So it's just up and down. Reverse curls on the cable. So realistically, what you would want is an easy bar. So basically something that has the curve like this, but you're gonna grab it on the top part and palms down. So that's where it's called, a reverse curl. Same idea as the hammer. You're gonna break at the elbow and bring it up. Mistakes with a lot of people is the first mistake is everyone goes way too heavy for this one. You gotta think your grip is reversed, so you are going to be very susceptible to letting go of this a lot quicker than a regular hammer or a regular bicep curl. So people that with a strong grip have no problem doing this, but people with a weak grip will suffer. When you're doing this, you will feel it in the forearms because you are using your grip a little bit more, but try to still drive with the top of the wrist. The whole idea is you're driving with the top part of your wrist and your hands are just hooked into that bar. Which means you don't have to go super, super heavy, but to get the best part out of each rep, you have to go full stretch. You come up to go full squeeze and control it on the way down. And just go until basically you can't go anymore. Yes, your forearms will get a bit of a pump, but it is a great exercise for the outer bicep. So sets and reps for this. is the same as before. You're gonna do 3 to 4 sets. Usually around 10 to 12, 12 to 15 repetitions. And really concentrating on tempo, form, all that stuff. All right, everybody, so we're moving on to preacher curl. I'm gonna show you a couple of variations of this because it all depends on where your elbow is and how you're basically in the machine. If you really want to work on that peak. So a lot of people, when they get in, they'll kind of cock their elbow out to the side here. And yes, you are working the outside of the bicep, but where we just did, but kind of that, realistically what you want to do is you want to get your elbow in like this. So you're getting a stretch right down the middle and you're bringing it up. Still, as you can tell, I'm not using my grip. I'm still driving with the inner part of my wrist. You want to get that full stretch at the bottom, full stretch, full flex at the top, controlling that weight. So instead of driving with this part of the wrist along your thumb, you're driving right down the middle. Well, range of motion is you want, obviously, especially with this one where you have this platform, you want to get the full stretch, but don't like just drop it in because that's where a lot of people tear the bicep. So control it all the way down into the stretch, control, up and flex. Slowing down, up and flex. Slow down, up, and even hold that flex for a sec. Slow down, full stretch, up and flex. So sets and reps for this one, again, 3 to 4. Personally, I like doing 21s on this one. So basically what I mean by 21s is 7 lower, 7 high, 7 full. You're gonna get that severe pump and you're really gonna feel each part of the bicep fire off. So personally, I like doing 21s on the preacher more so than a barbell because you're in a fixed position. There's no cheating, and it's optimizing each rep range. So you're doing 2 partials and a full 7 reps each one equals 21s. So those are the 3 exercises that I think would really kind of help the beginner's peak of the bicep. Really helps and optimize that because basically when you start working on the outside of your forearm and the brachial here, it actually widens out the arm and makes your arm look bigger. But everyone knows the bigger tricep makes the arm look overall bigger. That's where it really gets its size. But the bicep is one of those things that it kind of puts that finesse or that extra little detail into the arm. Kind of really gives that peak. And a lot of people love seeing a peak on a bicep. So those are my 3. Give them a try, give them a go. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll give you more information.